The Stun and Paralyze conditions are the worst part about D&D. These aspects are not fun, boring, actively turn people away from liking combat in Dungeons & Dragons, and these conditions should never be used if having fun is your reason for playing D&D. Oh right, hot take warning. The hot take. A quick disclaimer, I'm going to be using the terms stun and paralyzed interchangeably in this video. I know these are different conditions, but they both have the same issues that I'm going to be addressing today. So what are the paralyzed and stunned conditions? Long story short, you can't move, you can't use actions, and you can't use reactions. So, you just can't play the game. You get one of these conditions and you basically lose a turn, possibly more if you keep rolling poorly on a saving throw. You know what's no one's favorite part of Monopoly? Being in jail for 3 turns because I can't roll a f***ing 6. I knew we should have played Risk. At least then I could die on the battlefield of Kamchatka and not slowly wither away in debtor's prison. And don't get me wrong, you should enjoy the game when you are not directly doing something in it. Letting everyone at the table shine should be encouraged, and we should revel in that. And overcoming a daunting obstacle or a massive handicap is incredibly interesting and creates some incredible moments. But that handicap should never be, you don't get to play. And it still sucks when you're not paralyzed, but your friend is. Have you ever been dominating in a combat while your friend is paralyzed? It taints the moment. It's really hard to have a fun time when you know your friend might not be having a good time. When you are paralyzed, you are playing D&D as much as a bench warmer is playing basketball. You are a spectator, not a participant. If I wanted to spectate, I'd get into voyeurism. I didn't come here to spectate. I came here to roll dice and do math. Poorly. What's 13 plus 8? F you, that's what it is. And Dungeon Masters. You know how hard it is to schedule time for a game. The stars have aligned to finally get a game going, and you're just gonna put a player in a 20-minute timeout while the other players are in combat? Do you also have a problem with people checking their phones at the table? Well, do you also stun your players a lot? It's not a coincidence. Your players aren't having fun. Connect the dots, dingus. I may be bad at math, but I know 2 + 2 equals your player would rather be playing League of Legends right now. So if you're gonna design a combat encounter, maybe don't use stun or paralyze. But I'm not about to whine, f*** my phone. But I am not about to whine without offering an alternative. So, how can we change the stun and paralyzed condition so it can still debilitate a creature while still being engaging? Well, let's take a look at the slow spell. The effect is pretty nasty, however, you still have the ability to make choices, albeit in a limited capacity. So let's borrow from that. Here is my homebrewed version of stun and paralyzed. Movement speed is halved, you can only take an action or a bonus action, you can't take reactions, you automatically fail strength and dex-based saves and checks. If you attack, you can only make 1 attack a round, all attacks against you are made with advantage, all attacks you make have disadvantage, and just like slow, it really messes up spellcasters. And for paralyze, we will keep the bit about auto-critting a creature within 5 feet of you because, ooh, it feels so good to do that. Those automatic crits, they make me get up in the morning. Is this more complicated? Yes, but at least the player can actually think of how to overcome this hurdle rather than just sit in the corner waiting for their turn to see if they even get to play while also considering quitting D&D forever. Now, for the sake of fairness, I personally think these stun and paralyzed changes should be universal. That means it applies to the players and the monsters the players fight. Now, I see the monk players are a bit angered by this, but consider this, the DM is playing the game as well. Let them have fun with the monsters they prepared, even if it's at an extremely weakened capacity. Plus, stunning and paralyzing effects like Stunning Strike and Hold Person are still good with these changes. Now it's just a bit more fun for all. And I know the How to Buff Monk video isn't out yet, but come on. We all know what's coming. You don't have to agree with these changes I homebrew, but if you're going to take one thing away from this video, ask yourself, is there a mechanic in the game that excludes the player? Because rules is written, that's what Stun and Paralyze do. Hey guys, it's me, Skelly. I lived through the global plague. Not really, because I'm undead and I never was alive. Not important. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. I'm not going to tell you to subscribe. What I am going to tell you to do is if you're vaccinated, go enjoy your summer. I certainly am. I am celebrating by coughing in all of my friends' mouths. It's great.